My heart still beats at the speed.
We love Sweety High, that's with a Y. We love Sweety High, that's Sweety with a Y.
What's up, everyone? We're at Sunset. I'm Harrison.
I'm Tom.
And I'm Andrew.
And you're watching Sweet Beat TV only on sweetyhigh.com.
Hey Sweeties, it's Alex Schiff from Sweet Beat TV, and we're here for another episode of Sweetie Spotlight with Australian pop rock band At Sunset. Hey guys, welcome to America. We're very happy to have you from down under.
It's good to be up over.
Yeah, you've been doing a lot in LA. I heard you've been paintballing.
Yeah.
I saw you were on a yacht yesterday.
Yeah, heaps of work. We've been doing a lot of stuff you can do in Australia, like bowling, and shopping, and going to the movies.
You guys give free refills.
I
That's
kid you
what you love
not.
about
I'm
America?
not joking. We buy a Coke at a restaurant for $5, and it's like that big. You guys get it, it's this big for $2, and it's free refills, so I'm just chugging away.
So let's talk about the band. So
Okay.
tell me a little bit how the band was formed.
The band started basically, Andrew and I started the band. We're the brothers, so Andrew and I started the band. We started doing things on YouTube. We started gaining a few fans here and there, and like I remember ringing each other going, dude, we got like 100 views, like wow. You know, 100 views is freaking us out. And then that would go to like 1,000 views, and then 1,000 went to 100,000 views, and then went to 1,000,000 views.
We saw some of your videos on Australian Idol.
Oh boy.
So tell us about that experience.
When I was 16, I auditioned for Australian Idol.
Waiting on the world to change.
Very, very good. I was the youngest top 10 finalist in the world. That was insane, and it set up a lot of things for me after that.
And is that how you found him?
No, we found him like 2 years after. He came to our studio to come work at our studio one day, and then it was kind of just like fate.
Yeah, we clicked like a Vegemite and toast.
Tom normally sleeps with 4 teddies, right? But for this trip, only 2 made it. Puffy and Peanuts
Yeah,
made
and
it.
there's only, the most important one is Puffy.
Tom talks to Puffy. They have regular conversations about the day. Now, Puffy would obviously drown if you put it in the washing machine. So Tom puts a snorkel and a straw for Puffy to breathe. Friday is the premiere of Puffy's Twitter.
You've heard of Instagram, right?
Oh yeah.
Have you heard of that thing? Yeah. It's this new,
It's this thing for selfies.
and it's just for selfies. We hear you're the ultimate selfieer.
He is a selfie
Oh,
king.
Yeah.
Selfie king. So besides
No, we're not.
selfies, there's another thing that a lot of people do on Instagram called sunsets. I think you guys may be the sunset experts, so I need you to give me your best tip for taking an Instagram sunset.
There's literally like a 15-minute window for the perfect sunset if you're down at the beach. I think a cool sunset shot needs a silhouette of some sort in there.
You're gonna put some filters on there or no filter?
Ooh, X-Pro?
No, see the problem is, if you can get that perfect sunset, well, what do you need to filter?
You can hashtag no filter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how cool is that? Hashtagging no filter.
So our friends over at M want to know, if each of you could collab with a female artist, who would it be?
I'm gonna guess the boys' answer. One of them are gonna say Demi Lovato.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
I'm gonna say Katy Perry.
I'm really liking Ariana Grande at the moment.
We love your single Back in Time. So we want to play a little game in honor of it. Okay, ready?
Were you hiding that behind you the whole
Yeah,
time?
it was surprise! So if you could go back in time to any decade, we'll start easy. What would it be?
I would go back to the 2000s.
The 2000s?
Because I would never want to live without technology.
See, I want to say the 90s because I'm 92.
Yeah.
So I had a good, decent spell of the 90s, and when I think back to the 90s, I go Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, you know.
I'd have to go back to the 60s with Austin Powers.
Nice. Yeah,
Shaggy
that
Dog.
hair would fit right in. What about a famous historic event? Like if you could go back in history to any event.
I'd say when the light bulb was first created.
Nice. You love technology.
He was doing engineering before the band.
Tom, what about you?
The invention of the wheel. The wheel.
The wheel.
So the invention of a thing rolling on the ground. The wheel.
I'd go back to like the Rolling Stones, to maybe when they played somewhere massive.
Okay, so you're gonna perform for us today.
Yes.
Yeah, we
What
can.
are we gonna hear?
We're gonna do an a cappella of our song Back in Time.
And now for another Sweetie Spotlight with their single Back in Time at Sunset.
Now we're running back in time. My heart still beats at the speed of light, 'cause I've been searching through my mind to find a map that'll take me back in time.
Well, that was amazing, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by Sweety High.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you so much for joining us today, Sweeties. I'm Alex Shipman, and that wraps up another episode of Sweet Beat TV. For more exclusives on all things at Sunset and the latest issue of M Magazine, make sure to check us out online at sweetyhigh.com. And as always,
We love Sweety High. That's Sweety with a Y.
who are some of your favorite Disney villains?
Maleficent.
Someday somebody's gonna make you wanna turn around and say goodbye.